The third open OTA workout in the books for the Houston Texans. Still no throwing for CJ Stroud, but D'Amico Ryans gave us a little peek into what's going on, plus some other big observations from the workout presented by my friends at Platinum AC and Heating. My guy Dwayne is the best in the business. He did my full AC replacement. He can take care of you from your AC needs like preventative maintenance and repairs to the full replacement like I had. Platinum AC and Heating is the way to go. Put the number in your phone when you need an AC guy, you need the AC guy, and that's Dwayne at Platinum AC and Heating. Let's start with CJ Stroud. Still no throwing for the Houston Texans franchise quarterback, but at least we have some clarity to the situation. D'Amico Ryan said there's general soreness that Stroud is dealing with in the shoulder. Now, Ryans didn't say in the shoulder, but the reports are it's a shoulder issue. That would make sense why he's not throwing. But general soreness, the team's being cautious. They're being precautionary. And when Stroud's ready to go, he'll be out there throwing. D'Amico Ryans didn't sound like it was too scary or that he was too worried. In fact, he said he's not worried about CJ Stroud not throwing. This is good. Okay, this is good. It's not all the answers we wanted, but this is good. General soreness is a lot better than something's wrong with his shoulder. General soreness is a lot better than he's recovering from a major surgery. Now, I don't believe they could have kept a surgery quiet over the offseason, but could CJ Stroud have had something wrong with his shoulder at the end of last season and needed to kind of keep it quiet here and keep it low key in the offseason while he rehabbed and repaired? And then once there's a little bit of soreness, you want to be overly cautious. Look, if this was training camp, if this was a Wednesday before a Sunday game, I'd be freaking out. I'd be worried about CJ Stroud. But general soreness in June, you can deal with that. You can handle that. You can live with that. It's not the worst thing in the world. Would I have loved D'Amico Ryans to have answered the question about did CJ Stroud have offseason surgery? Is this something lingering from the offseason? Yes, I would have loved that. D'Amico Ryans just, hey, it's general soreness. That's all he had to really say about CJ Stroud. They're not worried. So now Nick Caley said he's not worried. D'Amico Ryans, he's not worried. It's lowered my worry meter a little bit. I don't believe Stroud's going to throw at mandatory minicamp next week, but if he does, then eliminate the worry for me with what he's dealing with now. But the shoulder will be something to monitor with the history that Stroud has. Ohio State, his rookie season in the NFL. I'll always be holding my breath when CJ Stroud gets tackled and lands on that throwing shoulder, with the shoulder history that he has. But for right now, lower the worry just a little bit. Look, I've been one of the most worrisome, so I need to lower my worry level a little bit. General soreness, not great, but could be a whole heck of a lot worse. I mean, last year, Matthew Stafford was getting injections in his elbow or whatever. Like, general soreness, much better than something that could have been much, much worse. I'm glad that we have some clarity now on Stroud's situation as to why he's not throwing in practice. The guys that were throwing the football, they were finding the veteran pass catchers in this one. Christian Kirk made his return to practice after missing practice last week. And man, let me tell you, Kirk just gets open with ease. Quickness, good route running, and he just gets open. He's a nice over-the-middle option for those quarterbacks to find. And there was one play in particular where he was lined up outside of another wide receiver. That wide receiver kind of took things over the middle, and then Kirk just kind of fell in right behind him, right through his jet stream. He's wide open, created a ton of space for himself to catch the ball and run. He is crisp. He is a guy that has a lot of experience and a guy that you can certainly count on. It feels like being a big piece to this Houston Texans passing attack. I know the rookies had been impressive, but Kirk impressed today. To go along with Kirk at the wide receiver spot, Justin Watson made his open OTA practice debut, and Watson looked every bit the player that D'Amico Ryans has been pumping him up to be. He talked about how Justin Watson had been one of the most consistent players in the National Football League over the past few seasons, and that he was a standout in off-season workouts. And Watson came in there right off the bat, looked better than Xavier Hutchinson, looked better than John Mechie, looked as good as the rookies that have been impressing, as good as Christian Kirk as well. So Watson had a couple of really nice moments, looked crisp in his routes, looked faster than I imagined he was going to be. There was one tough moment where he tried to haul in an over-the-shoulder catch, and he just didn't quite corral it, but liked what I saw in the little bit that I did see from Justin Watson in this workout. And of course, you can't talk about veteran pass catchers without talking about how damn good Nico Collins is. Boy, him and Derek Stingley squaring off certainly is a fun one. He got Stingley on a play where Collins chopped his feet and came back to the football. Stingley tried to close on him, couldn't quite get there in time. A little contact between the two of them. Looked like Nico Collins had some words there for Derek Stingley, but ultimately, Nico Collins goes to the sideline with his reception. Derek Stingley goes back to playing cornerback and making life a living hell for everybody that's not Nico Collins out there. So the veteran pass catchers at wide receiver, big thumbs up from them. And you know who else looked really good as a veteran pass catcher? Dalton Schultz, back out there working out, was on the side field last week, but was on the field today. And man, Schultz looked way better than he did in the 2024 season. He looked quicker. He was running his routes crisper. He wasn't afraid to get out there and be a little physical in a moment here or there, as physical as you can be in OTAs. I do wonder if Dalton Schultz was dealing with something on the back half of last season that kept him from really accessing all of his talent and abilities, because he looked crisp and he looked much closer to the 2023 version of Dalton Schultz than he did the 2024 version that we were all kind of just like, no thanks. Even though the counting numbers weren't drastically down, the overall look and performance from Schultz in 2024 was nowhere near what the expectation was and nowhere near what he was able to do in 2023. So a big thumbs up on Dalton Schultz as well. 2 big thumbs up and 5 stars for my guy, Dwayne at Platinum AC and Heating. I needed a brand new air conditioning system. It was a scary thing until I talked to Dwayne at Platinum AC and Heating. He walked me through all my options. He walked me through, I could do this, I could do that. Ultimately, I went with the full AC replacement. And he even told me, he said, go get some other quotes. Okay, go get some other quotes and compare them to what I bring to the table. I went with Platinum AC and Heating. My guy Dwayne's the best in the business. He explained everything to me. His crew was not only on time, they were early for the full replacement day. And if there hadn't been weather, I think they would have got it done in record time. Man, it was a lot of work, and they got it done in a quick amount of time. Dwayne's the best. His crew was awesome. And again, they explained everything, all my different options, all the way through. A lot of the stuff was electronic. It wasn't signing a whole bunch of paperwork and doing this, doing that. Dwayne's the best with communication, and I got that new AC rolling. Let me tell you, it went from 84 in my place all the way down to 68 in less than 90 minutes. That's how good this new AC is. Man, I got a top of the line deal, and you can always get the best prices and the best service, my friends at Platinum AC and Heating. Really appreciate Dwayne and his crew. Give him a call today, 832-777-3683, 832-777-3683. Christian Kirk, impressive on the field, impressive at the microphone, and letting us behind the curtain just a little bit. He talked about how Nick Caley's offense that he's been taking in as the new wide receiver on the team under the new offensive coordinator looks and feels dynamic, which was a great word to hear about Nick Caley's offense, because Bobby Slowick's thing last year looked anything but dynamic. And he talked about how there's a lot of motion and there's a lot of pre-snap adjustments that the offense needs to make. Well, I loved hearing that about this Nick Caley offense, because a lot of times the Houston Texans offense last year felt stagnant. It felt stuck. It felt archaic. And I'm not saying that you have to have a whole bunch of motions and moving and this and that to have a good offense in the NFL. It certainly helps when you think about how much the Rams did it last year and Nick Caley previously coaching for the LA Rams. You got to think, okay, maybe there's going to be a little bit of modernization to what the Texans are doing on offense. And it's a copycat league. And if it's working, Why not copy it and try to put it into effect for your team? Very excited to learn a little bit more and more about this Nick Caley offense as players give us little crumbs and pieces, and we won't really know a ton about it until it's week 1 in LA, ironically, against those Rams, week 2 against those Tampa Bay Buccaneers on Monday Night Football. We'll start to understand it a lot more then. We'll see some clues in training camp, but to know that they're going to access pre-snap motions and they're going to put stuff on the offense to gauge what the defense is showing them. And then have Christian Kirk, who's played in some pretty solid offenses and had some pretty impressive years himself, drop the D word, dynamic, about this offense. Got me a little excited to find out a little bit more about what Nick Caley's trying to instill and install with this offense. Finally, man, I feel bad for Blake Fisher. I really do. He has the unenviable task of trying to stop Will Anderson, and on back-to-back snaps, Will Anderson just absolutely blew past Blake Fisher. Fisher didn't have a chance in hell to stop Will Anderson. It would have been 2 sacks for Will Anderson. On that second one, he would have split it with Tommy Togiai, who got a good push up the middle. Man, it's a tough task for Blake Fisher to go out there and try to stop Will Anderson one-on-one. DeMeco Ryans mentioned after practice they're working with Fisher to make sure that his pad level stays low. And I thought this was interesting. After a couple of those wins by Will Anderson, Fisher had some success against some of the other pass rushers. But as he walked off the field, Trent Brown, who's a veteran tackle, played a lot of football in this league, played for Cole Popovich previously in New England. Trent Brown kind of grabbed Blake Fisher, and they spent a lot of time at practice talking to each other. I'm assuming going over the finer tuning points of the offensive line play and the expectations. And Fisher's not a small guy. He's not Trent Brown, every bit of 6'8" and 380 like he's listed on the roster, but he's also a bigger tackle. And I have to imagine having a veteran presence who's been around the NFL for a long time and had the success that Trent Brown has had, kind of impart some wisdom on him was a big positive for Fisher over there at the right tackle spot. The tackle shuffle, the offensive line shuffle as a whole continues. Cam Robinson got first crack at left tackle this time. Then it was Laken Tomlinson, Jake Andrews, Titus Howard, and Blake Fisher there on the offensive line. Later, Jarrett Patterson, Ed Ingram, and Ariante Ursery got in there with Tomlinson and Fisher. Jalen Thomas is another player who's played a little bit of guard here and there for the Texans. They're still mixing and matching. I tell you what, though, Cam Robinson, the more I watch, the more I think it's going to be pretty tough for somebody to pry him out of that left tackle spot. And I believe at this point, if they had to play a game tomorrow, you'd go Robinson at left tackle, Tomlinson at left guard, Andrews at center, Titus Howard at right guard, and Blake Fisher at right tackle. Still a long way to go. DeMeco Ryans did mention that he's noticed a little bit of the culture change there for the Houston Texans offensive line. He's already noticed offensive line coach Cole Popovich's impact. Popovich, of course, on the staff last year, promoted to offensive line coach this year. Already noticing what Popovich brings to the table. So the O-line shuffle continues, and my goodness, you could shuffle up anybody, try to stop Will Anderson. It doesn't seem like you're going to get him. And certainly Anderson, couple of victories over Fisher in this workout. Those are the big observations, every single observation for you at Houston football. Of course, we'll talk at length about this on SNL with myself, Landry Locker from the Locker Room. Don't want to miss out on that. What else do you want to know from OTAs? Let me know in the comment section down below. When you're down there, throw me a thumbs up on the video. Subscribe to the channel if you haven't already. Take down my guy Dwayne from Platinum AC and Heating's number, because when you need an AC guy, you need the AC guy, and that's Dwayne from Platinum AC and Heating. He did my air conditioner where I live, a full system replacement, got it done lickety split, and was super communicative in the process about the different options I had. Hey, do this, you save some money, but you expose yourself long-term for this. If you do this, we'd go with this system. You'll notice it right away, and let me tell you, I can hang meat in this place. I'm not even turning it all the way down like where I used to get it, and it's even cooler than it was. Man, Dwayne told me that was going to happen, and he delivered. Not only that, but he delivered great service, great prices. He's the best in town, Platinum AC and Heating. Give him a call today if you need some air conditioner work. Hey, did you know you need to service your AC as regularly as you service your car? Yeah. It's another machine that's outside in this heat. Get your AC in fine working condition with my friends at Platinum AC and Heating. Appreciate you watching the video. I hope you enjoyed it, and I can't wait till we talk Texans again soon.